I got to hear my eldest son sing at the end of his residency with the National Youth Choir in a concert today. And the concert was just amazing. What these singing tutors and conductors managed to get the kids to produce in 5 days is just stupendous and so inspiring and really, really moving. Every year I never fail to cry in these concerts to my son's great embarrassment. But there is something so beautiful about how about seeing these young people really mobilized to do something for the sake of doing it. And I was reflecting during the concert, I was reflecting on how so many of the things that these youngsters have been learning over the course of this week is stuff that I have had to develop for myself in my life, which I had learned as a musician, but I've had to expand that into the rest of my life to learn how to do that. But also it's so much of it is what I work on with my clients, with my coaching clients. You know, things like how the whole choir, a couple of hundred children strong, would, before they started singing, they would pause and drop into their body and find their note and focus, and as a whole begin to sing. And this pause and focus and it is something that it is a practice that we need to develop. Also, there's something about attuning to each other as a group. So being aware of one's own note, but also sensing the breathing of everybody else around them and making sure, always using our ears to make sure that we are singing on the same pitch as the group. And the trust that they've learned that if they do something wrong, they're going to be carried by the group, which in a healthy adult we would want to feel as a healthy adult, that somehow our environment, our universe is holding us, and that we can trust in that. What else was there? There was over the 5 days, discipline of practice, right? They've been working hard. They were starting at 9 a.m. every morning and finishing at 9 p.m. every day, and many hours of singing and rhythm practice and learning. Everything was sung by heart. A whole hour concert, everybody was singing by heart. So that discipline, that surrender of discipline, which I was talking about in one of my previous videos, they were learning that as well. But also the somatic anchoring of it and the connecting to pleasure and joy through their bodies. Because yes, they were singing for many hours a day, but they were also spending some time outdoors, playing sports together, doing games to stretch their voices and exercise them, and sort of really anchoring that discipline, that practice in their bodies. And then finally expanding their capacity to hold the discomfort of the excitement of being on stage. And learning to breathe through that and use all the things that they had learned in terms of attunement and attention and somatic anchoring in that moment of performance to communicate this music to us. It was just wonderful. And so, you can see how excited I am. It's always a highlight of my year when I go and hear my son sing in the National Youth Choir. So if anybody who was on staff this week happens to listen, my heartfelt thanks for all the work that you've done with these young people. These are all skills that go way beyond music making that they are learning, and it's really a precious thing. Good night.